Hello everybody, it's Ken from Miniature Wargaming Warriors, and today we are going to take a look at how to paint the North Korean Army soldier. This is from the bolt action range. I'm going to be doing my own take on it, what I like it as, and yeah, it might not be the most historically accurate, but this is what I'm going to paint mine up in. So yeah, let's get started. So the first thing, we're going to start with the main bulk of the uniform. I'm going to use Skeleton Horde along with Ministorum Green, and I'm going to mix that in a ratio of 6:1. So 6 parts Skeleton Horde to 1 part Ministorum Green. So I've already pre-mixed some up. Get rid of that bit of fluff. And this is basically going to go over the main bulk of the uniform. Pretty much the main colour. So yeah, let's start getting it on. It's like an olive drab sort of colour, I guess, but very tinge of a green into it. Because looking at the box art, it seems like the uniform's got a green tinge. So it's not just basic Skeleton Horde, which you could if you really wanted to. If you don't want the green tinge, and you could just go Skeleton Horde with it, a bit like the Russians. And yeah, so I'm gonna apply this. All over the pants and the jacket. Just being careful on the jacket because we've got a bit of brown to go on there for like the belt and the webbing stuff. So yes. Sorry about there not being any videos last week. I was away on holiday. I tried to get some videos done before I left. I was just too busy with work and things like that to actually get any time to sit down to do any. But I'm back now, and videos will be coming. So I thought, I only got back last night at 11 o'clock, so I thought, ooh, better get a video up. Can't let you guys down. Just being careful there, because we're going to put some red on, like, I think you call them lapels or lapettes. So we're getting there. Quite a lot of the uniform is nearly done. I'm just being careful here again because I'm going to paint like this bit here all brown, and it's got a little backpack there. I'm going to paint that brown. Some of the models are modelled with it, some of them are not, because these are the metal miniatures from Warlord. If you wanted like a darker finish, so once this is all dry and you're not happy with it, the coverage, you could just go over with a second coat. But for me, for contrast wise, I just do one coat. That's what I think they're intended for, just one coat. Sometimes it looks better with two, but I'm going to use them as one thick coat, as Games Workshop keep banging on about. Let's make sure we don't get the belt. So while I was away and stuff, I was having a look through. So I took some gaming stuff with me, like codexes and bits, just for a nice read and bits and bobs like that. Also had some audio books, listening to a bit of 40k, to be honest with you. I was listening to Hell's Reach. Quite nice. It was nice to get away, but I did miss painting. I do love a bit of painting. But yeah, no, these guys are pretty straightforward to do. Again, this is like my first one. first time of doing this. All I've done is I've just tested out the colour for the uniform. Right, we are getting there, quite heavily getting there now. So just I've got to tilt the miniature up because I can't get the angle, so sorry about that. Just there. Just under his arm there. See, that is one good thing about the contrast paints, is they do flow really well into heavily recessed models, which these are. They are really heavily recessed, so the paint does just flow into it naturally, which is really nice. It makes it a bit easier. I'm also going to paint the rifle strap in the same colour, because looking at the box art, the rifle strap is the same colour as the uniform, so that's the colour I'm going to go with. Just making sure any bits I've missed or any pooling I don't want, take it off. Got his lovely hat here. Paint that in the same colour. Just going to leave the where the star would be with no paint on in a minute, because I'm going to come along with red. Give that a good, give that a nice dollop of red. That's his hat. Okay, uniform pretty much is looking done. Just a bit under his arm. Just there. There's probably little odd bits I've missed, but when I do my touching up stage at the end, I'll go back and I'll just catch those. It's just with the angles of painting on camera and using the painting handle and stuff, I just miss it sometimes. So when I go back, I'll check everything and make sure I catch everything before the end. But there's the first colour is on. So wash the brush out. So that's like the first main bit. I'm going to do the boots next, and I'm just going to do them in my standard black Templar. It's worth noting before I do that, some of these models, there's like a shirt or a scarf, I haven't worked it out yet, but looking at the box art, it's blue, so around the neck. This model doesn't have it, but some of them have got it, and so that's just bearing in mind. So you might want to hit that up with an ultramarines blue or something like that, in the contrast range, if you've got those models. But just going around with black Templar. What do you guys think of the new rule set for bolt action with Career? Has anyone actually played it yet? I've not played it yet, but I've got an army up together. But I'm sure we will be playing it at some point. Look at me going communism. It's normally Liam. Loves the red tide, doesn't he? Loves a bit of red tide. Right. Right, so I'm going to do the flesh next, and for this I'm going to use dark oak flesh and not Guillermin flesh, because I've based all my models around Guillermin flesh for like the Western Hemisphere. This is like East, isn't it? So Asia. So I'm just going to give them a bit of a different skin tone. Not sure if it's 100% accurate, but it's just something a bit different. So we're going on with the dark oak. I always like the skin tones because it gives the model a bit of life. So just making sure we get round the back. He has got a bit of hair modelled on this, so I'll come in with like a black maybe, or whatever colour I decide to paint it as, and I'll come in and I'll do that with the hair. That's all looks like hair modelled mostly, so just pick out the ear on the other side. Bit of flash there. Just making sure to get in there. I've noticed as well, I've missed the underneath the peak cap, so I'll come back and hit that up as well with the in the neatening up stage. Don't even really need to paint it if you don't want to. I'll tell you what, just because they're not modelled, I'm gonna paint that as the hair. But yeah, so that's the flesh done pretty much. Just a tiny little bit more there. And you just come in a bit more there. A bit darker. That's it. Alright, so that's the flesh. Right, I'm gonna go with Krygor Brown, I think it is. I think that's what you call it. It's that one. I'm gonna do that for like the little packs he's got. They look like they're a dark colour. Just checking some of the box. Oh yeah, they're a bit of a mix. So you've got some that have got like the dark brown, and you've got some that are like the olive green. I think the backpack's actually meant to be the olive green colour. Looking at these models, it's very possible. But you could do it in the brown. I'm going to do it in the brown just because I want to. It's my model, isn't it? So I can pick and choose, but I'm going to go with the brown for it. It's a nice dark brown. Right, it is at this point I'm going to change my paintbrush just for this bit. So I'm going to go with a little bit of a smaller brush, just so I can try and get a little bit more control. So here we go. Just concentrating for this part, because this brown will cover the other brown, like the uniform, really well. So just got to try and be neat. Let's get that, make sure we get into all the recesses. Right, so the next colour I'm going to go with is Basilica Grey. I'm going to paint the metal parts on the rifle before I actually do the wood for a change. Reason behind this is there is a big, like, thin bit, there's a bit of metal on the top here on the actual rifle that I need to pick out, and I don't want to just cover it in wood. Just there, that's meant to be metal. Just want to make sure I cover it properly. Still doing the Basilica Grey. Just making sure I get the right spots. Bolt there. Metal. Rear sight. We've also got a couple of bits and bobs here. So just going over that. What you can do, obviously, is if you mess up, like I'm just doing it now because I'm just going to paint the metal. I can't do it neatly. So I've got a shaky hand for some reason today. So out of practice. So I'm just going to paint over the bits that I need metal like that. Not so you got like the magazine, but there's a reason for that. Is I can, like in my the other videos, you can go back in with the prime colour. So like I primed with Wraithbone, so I can go back in with Wraithbone and just go over it and then repaint it with the brown. To be honest with you, I might not even do that because That snakebite leather covers really well anyway. So depending, just making sure to get, just want to make sure I get all the metal parts. So that part there, the other side. Yeah, so that's the metal parts. Like I said, I will go in with some race bone and I'll touch that up. Nice and dark. There we go. So yeah, so what I'll do is I'll go now with the race bone and just touch up some of those bits once it's all dry. So just give me a couple of minutes. Well, it'll be a couple of minutes for me, but for you guys it'll be instantaneous. It'll be a cut. And once I've painted the race bone, I'll be back to do the rifle. Right, so yeah, I've done a race bone and let it dry. So I'm now going to go in with snakebite leather like I do with all my rifles for my wood on my rifle. So just going to go in with that. Do like this sort of effects that it gives you with the snake bite, especially once it's dried. It looks really cool. Just making sure to get underneath the rifle as well. That and just round the back here, just making sure I can pick out the wood part of the rifle just there. Okay. That looks like pretty much all the wood. If you notice in there, I need to just go back in with the flesh and neaten that up. So, well, that's dry and we can do that now quickly. And that's with dark oak flesh. Just need to make sure we get the actual flesh covered. There we go. That's better. That looks a lot better. Okay, so that's that flesh done. So realistically, just two more colours now. Really, just I'm gonna go with Black Templar for his hair. And the red to go on his lapels, on his for his arms. Sorry, for his jacket at the top there. So Black Templar around here on his hair. There's the black for his hair. And I'm going to use Blood Angels Red, just for the red parts on the model. It's only 3 bits. You don't need that much at all because this red covers really well. One. Two. That'll be there for the on his peak cap, just for the sim for North Korea. Make sure we get all that there. Cool. That's looking pretty much finished. So yeah, literally just some neatening up to do now, and then it's done. But that's pretty much how I paint them anyway. That's what I'm going to do for my North Koreans, but I'll let you guys decide what you think in the comments below, if you like it or not. But remember, this is only a tabletop standard. You know, this is with no edge highlighting and stuff like that. It's just to get an army on the table. And everyone's skill sets differently. It's like I can tell straight off the bat, if I was to finish this off, I'll probably I'll probably go back in with another layer of Basilica Grey possibly, and also varnish the model because they're metal miniatures. You want to make sure you varnish it, because otherwise it will chip really easily. But yeah, that's pretty much how I paint the North Korean soldiers. But thanks very much for watching. Apologies for no video last week, but like I said, I was away. But video's going to come thick and fast now. Well, cheers, take care, and see you again soon.